Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are opening up a really remarkable and albeit pretty unusual stack of source material.
We really are.
We're doing a deep investigation into the core mechanics of personal value, attraction, discipline, and, well, desire.
That's right. Our mission is to sort of strip away all the societal fluff around value and understand how it's actually generated.
That it really works.
Yeah, whether you're building a professional career or, seeking a deeper connection in your personal life, value is essentially how you manage yourself.
And how others perceive that self-possession.
Exactly. We're dissecting the functional strategy behind being high value, no matter the context.
And the sources, even though they're from totally different worlds, they converge beautifully on three key pillars.
They do.
First, the professional manufacture of presence and demand. Second, how you cultivate deep internal value through consistency and discipline.
And third, the energetic and emotional impacts of your mindset on everything else. Your success, your intimacy.
It's all about moving from being sort of passively attractive to actively commanding respect.
So let's start there. Let's begin by looking at value creation in its most, raw transactional form.
The business model.
The business model used by highly successful service professionals, specifically those at the absolute top tier of paid intimacy.
Okay, let's unpack this. The core lesson here is it's almost startlingly simple, and it speaks right to behavioral psychology.
It does.
In this high-end market, their actions, and maybe more importantly, their inactions, have immediate, measurable financial consequences.
That instantaneous consequence, that's the key. If they show up with that energy, if they're rude, if they lack boundaries, they lose the client.
Instantly.
Immediately. And that forces a kind of radical clarity and self-management. Now, contrast that with what our sources claim happens in many long-term relationships.
Especially with men labeled, the nice guys or the dependable husbands. The sources are pretty pointed here. They argue that these men, the ones who stay, pay the bills, keep the home running, even when they feel emotionally and physically neglected.
They're inadvertently teaching their partners that neglect has zero consequence.
It's a classic behavioral loop, isn't it?
Totally. If the man's affection, his financial security, his presence, if all that stays unwavering even when intimacy is withdrawn, the dynamic just reinforces the message.
The message being
that she can continue to give less without any real stakes. The marriage structure itself becomes kind of safety net against having to put in the effort.
That sounds incredibly cynical.
It does, but it's hard to ignore the behavioral evidence presented. They frame it as a functional observation, based on why these men seek out paid intimacy in the first place.
Which leads right to the client's emotional state.
Exactly. These are often hardworking, loyal men who feel utterly invisible or untouched. They aren't just looking for sex.
They're seeking validation, warmth, the feeling of being, genuinely seen.
And the client feedback that's cited is just heartbreakingly specific. We see quotes like, "You make me feel wanted."
"You look at me like I'm a man."
Or, "You touch me like you mean it." The transaction isn't about physical surrender. It's the purchase of focused, non-judgmental presence.
Which brings us to the actual strategy desire used to command that. It's pure perception management.
And the first strategy is radical boundary setting. If you're commanding a premium, you have to be able to say no.
Explain that mechanism. Why does turning someone down or setting a firm rule actually increase your value?
Because your no signals self-worth, and that commands respect. People instinctively filter value based on scarcity and difficulty.
So if you're hard to get.
If you're hard to get, difficult to keep, hard to access, the quality of your yes becomes profoundly magnetic. It creates immediate respect because it shows you respect yourself.
And that ties right into the idea of commanding a room with your energy, which is apparently crucial for these high-pressure clients, the CEOs and traders.
Absolutely. When everyone around you is anxious and rushing and performing, the high-value person grounds their energy. They slow their walk. They slow their speech. Their shoulders are relaxed. When you move and speak calmly, you become the eye of their storm.
People are drawn to that quiet control.
It represents safety, authority.
And then there's the last skill, which is maybe the most magnetic of all, and it's totally free.
Active listening. And it's not just nodding your head. It's remembering the small, specific details, the book they mentioned, how that job interview went.
It communicates that for that slice of time, they are the only thing that matters.
And that level of focused attention is so rare in our world that it becomes the ultimate premium service. It allows these pros to manage, say, 17 high-paying clients instead of struggling with 250 low-paying ones.
A quality over volume business model built entirely on presence.
That's it.
That synthesis is really powerful. So if we take those transactional insights, boundaries, presence, consistency, and shift them away from money and toward building deep internal value, where do we land?
We land on the bedrock of lasting attraction. Discipline. The sources call it the foundation of quiet authority.
Yeah. It's an internal signal that just screams high value without a single word.
I want to focus on that phrase, quiet authority. What is it about discipline that actually registers as attractive? It sounds so puritanical, but the sources say it's intensely magnetic.
It's the weight of consistency. Discipline isn't just about, waking up early. It's about holding unwavering lines across your life, your health, your finances, your word. And when a woman, or really anyone, sees that consistency over time, they register the calm certainty it creates.
And that certainty projects what? Stability? Purpose?
Both. And the ability to execute on long-term goals, those are hugely attractive evolutionary signals.
And this internal state gets communicated instantly through how we present ourselves. Appearance is a communication tool.
Precisely. Clean, well-fitting clothes, intentional care, these are acts of self-respect.
If you value yourself enough to handle your presentation, others subconsciously read that as you having high standards everywhere in your life.
And the reverse is true. If you appear careless.
It sends a subtle signal that others don't need to value you that highly either.
And this is where we hit that really counterintuitive finding. The sources suggest that women who maintain these high standards often get approached less.
Yes. In casual settings, less often.
Why? Why does raising the bar lower the number of approaches?
Because that high standard is a massive filter. It signals instantly that the person is super expensive or hard to get.
So it weeds people out.
It filters out the low-effort suitors who are just looking for easy access. It ensures that the people who do approach are higher quality and ready to invest the effort. High self-respect attracts high self-respect.
That same self-possession also defines attraction as intimacy starts to emerge. The sources give it some very specific behavioral signals.
They do. For men, one signal of that quiet authority is delaying sexual escalation.
How so?
It shows they're not driven by impulse, they aren't rushed, they value the connection and the lead-up more than just completion. That control is attractive. It shows self-mastery.
And for women, the key signal is authentic sexual communication.
Yes. The men surveyed said this over and over. They want real feedback. The core message was essentially, stop faking orgasms.
They want to know.
They want to know exactly how to please their partners. They are searching for authentic pleasure. When a woman gives real feedback and direction, it confirms his ability to satisfy her. It builds his confidence.
But the sources suggest that what makes a connection truly unforgettable isn't physical at all.
No, it's the emotional disarming that comes before it.
The emotional surrender.
That's the term they use. When a woman creates a space where a man can drop his armor, where she embraces the parts he normally hides, his vulnerability, his grief, his fear of failure, she is touching his silence.
And the key, as the sources emphasize, is doing it without needing him to explain it all or trying to offer solutions.
Just offering pure, non-judgmental presence. Just like those high-end professionals we talked about.
That stillness, that acceptance of his complexity without needing to fix him.
Becomes the most healing and deeply connecting thing he's ever felt. That emotional availability is the true mechanism of deep intimacy.
Okay, so moving from the intimate realm to external outcomes, we have to tackle the scientific link between these internal traits and measurable results, like wealth and success.
Right, and this is where we look at the behavioral trait of conscientiousness.
For anyone unfamiliar, what exactly is conscientiousness in psychological terms?
It's one of the big 5 personality traits. It means being organized, responsible, disciplined, goal-driven, and reliable. And the data here is just crystal clear.
The people who rank high in it
Are, on average, more successful and accumulate more wealth. It's not just a nice trait. It's functionally linked to better life outcomes.
because it all translates to long-term planning and impulse control.
Exactly. And conversely, the sources point out that a clear lack of conscientiousness, like, for example, partying through your 20s, 30s, and most of your 40s, is a strong predictor of financial trouble later on.
You just lack the internal discipline to delay gratification.
Or to execute complex plans. And this ties into a really fascinating and, I guess, challenging hypothesis from behavioral genetics.
The connection between impulse impulse control, and health.
Yes. The hypothesis suggests that high rates of obesity in some populations are partly due to lower levels of conscientiousness combined with a higher biological food drive.
So it's a lack of the internal drive, that discipline required to consistently say no to immediate gratification.
Right, or to sustain the effort needed to lose weight over months and years.
And this mention of effort brings us to that widely discussed and often misunderstood concept of manifestation.
Yeah, our sources really clarify this. Manifestation isn't cosmic ordering. It's applied effort paired with an unshakable internal belief.
The belief is the critical ingredient.
It's not wishing. It's the absolute belief that your hard work, your dedication, your consistency will yield the result you want. You have to pair the action with the visualization.
So a vision board for your dream body is useless.
Without the paired exercise plan and the commitment, the magic is just consistent effort fueled by clear expectation.
This focus on energy and materialization brings us to our most, esoteric source material.
Tantra, which views success through the interplay.
And this ancient wisdom really provides a kind of analogous framework for these modern dynamics. In this system, feminine energy is described as the fuel for masculine success.
And for abundance.
How are those energies defined in this context?
Well, masculine energy is often seen as golden light. It's structure, direction, clarity, and tension. Feminine energy, the silver light, is magnetism, receptivity, life force.
Then the two have to interweave, structure plus fuel.
Exactly, to materialize desires and bring goals into reality. And crucially, this union requires a pure intention. The desire has to serve life and growth, not just the ego.
And this framework applies directly back to relationship dynamics, to that idea of effortless control.
It does. It explains the observation that a soft or receptive woman can control her man effortlessly by creating the space for his masculine structure and leadership to emerge. She lets him be the problem solver.
And conversely, a hyper-independent woman might risk blocking that flow.
Always jumping in, handling everything herself. She inadvertently trains the man to retreat and withdraw his purpose and his structure.
And a man is profoundly influenced by a woman's warmth, her love, her sexual nourishment.
Profoundly. If she removes that nourishment because of resentment or anger, the structure can start to fail. He checks out emotionally. Her active warmth and love are what can bring him back to life.
What a compelling journey. We've really connected the transactional mechanics of commanding a room with the quiet authority of personal discipline, and finally the energetic flow needed for success.
And if we connect all these threads, you see a clear blueprint. Value is less about what you have and far more about the boundaries and the focused presence you command.
It's a reminder that so many of our modern challenges come from us operating on this ancestral, instinctual programming.
But the modern world demands conscious, strategic effort, suppressing those gut emotional reactions in favor of calm, high-value rationality.
So what does this all mean for you? We established that the most highly monetized form of connection is radical presence, deep calm, and the genuine feeling of being wanted.
Skills that high-end professionals have to master. So if that full, authentic, non-judgmental presence is so rare that it commands exorbitant prices, what does that tell you about the hidden emotional deficiency in our everyday relationships?
And what opportunity does that rarity present if you choose to master and offer that same level of focused, unconditional presence in your own intimate life?
Mastering that level of sustained attention might just be the highest value skill you could possibly cultivate.